History in the making in this bitch. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Wells. You see that shit? It's your boy Wells. Like tough as fuck. I don't give a fuck, brother. Look at this shit, bruh. We back in this bitch, right? And today I want to talk about my entrepreneurial route. I'm an entrepreneur, bruh. Like a fucking business owner, right? And I fucking failed, bro. I felt like a fucking loser, bro. And honestly, I just wanted to get on here and talk about what I have learned, what mistakes I've made, and how I can carry forward, right? So it's gonna be broken down into like three stages. The first stage was me just going into it, right? Executing, the fear of failure could not stop me from starting anything, right? And just get into it, start, learn, right? One thing I learned was you can't just do it blindly. You have to have a plan when you go into doing a business. You have to have a fucking plan, right? Finding a supply and then finding a demand and then fulfilling the supply. You have to find a market first, right? I opened up a lawn care business and I failed. Like, I fucking failed. I had to come back a bit, right? I had to downsize because I expanded and I scaled before the demand, merited any expansion. And that was my downfall. That was my problem. I went into debt. Dumbass. So I went into lawn care and I opened up a business venture. I was like, bro, I gotta make money. I gotta make money. How am I gonna make money? I need better equipment, better tools, better this. Like end of the line shit, right? And I was end of the line, but I had no customers. I had no fucking customers.
Shut up, bitch!
So you have to find customers first before you go out and start buying a bunch of shit. It sounds so fucking simple on paper, but it's one of those things where you genuinely have to just jump into it first in order to realize what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, cause like I say, you go into it with a plan, right? And say, I want to start this business. Well, if there's no market for that business in your area, there's no fucking point of doing it, right? You have to go with what's in the area, right? And like I say, supply and demand, it all boils down to that. But finding out where the demand is for a good or service and then having the supply. You go into it and you like my next business adventure, I am strategically thinking about this shit prior to buying anything, right? I'm gonna do vending machines, right? That's my next business venture. I'm gonna do vending machines, and I intend on having locations secured prior to buying anything, right? I'm not gonna buy jack shit. I'm not gonna buy any vending machines. I'm not gonna have product. I'm not gonna be sitting on shit, right? Because I have to secure the demand first before I supply it. You know what I mean? So I have to get customers first. So with that business venture, I intend on having locations and like calling up people and saying, "Hey, do you need a vending machine? Do you need a vending machine?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like getting some spots, securing locations. That way I actually have spots, high traffic spots, and I can actually start, running routes and, just replacing the fucking candy in the vending machines, making money while I sleep. You feel me? It's shit like that. You have to find the demand first. That is the best advice I can give for anybody starting a business. Find the demand before you start supplying anything. Flat out. That is anything you take out of this video, take that and run with it. You can fucking execute all you want. You can fear of failure, nothing, fearless. Just I'm not scared of shit. I'm a risk taker. Brother, you can take as many risks as you want, but it means nothing when you're supplying something that has no demand. So first find your market and then supply the demand. You feel what I'm saying? That's the whole video. That is honestly the entire fucking thing. As a failed entrepreneur, I learned something that was so valuable. I failed in terms of my business, but I've gained experience in the business. Like all the admin shit, like having an LLC, what it means to actually have, protections against you, right? As a sole proprietor versus having an LLC and all that good shit, right? I've learned all of that in the midst of just operating a business and doing it legally, right? Cause Lord knows we'll sell anything for a strange bit of change in this motherfucker. But honestly, being a business owner, it just brother, you gotta focus on the objective and what it is that you're trying to provide. You can't go into it saying, "Oh, I really want to do this niche thing. I really want to do it." If you're going into business, you have to realize it doesn't matter what your ideal is, because ultimately, if you have no customers that want to buy your product or your service, there is no business. And you can be as passionate, have as much passion, as much skill, as much anything, but if there's no demand, you're supplying, you're just sitting on supply. So take it for what it's worth. I'm gonna keep the video very short and sweet. Uh, and that's my piece. Peace.